So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We have Lena Albright. She is at Wabanalo Community Center. She's a member there. She's a Native Hawaiian health practitioner and an educator and the director of the cultural health at Wabanalo Health Center. She's a Lomi Lomi, a La'au Lapa'au, Laws of Ola Kino practitioner and educator. Lena Ala joined Wamanalo Health Center in 2015, integrating her services within the health center primary care setting. She continually strives to share the healing legacy of her kumu and Ike Kupuna in support of the health and well-being of her community. Take it away. Thank you so much.
Mahalo. So I wanted to introduce Keoki. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. This is Keoki Bakleon, Kumu Keoki from, he is our La'alapa'au instructor at UH Manoa, and he is my partner here at Waimanalo Health Center. And he integrates along with me. I mainly focus on Lomi Lomi, and he focuses on the La'alapa'au. And we're very privileged that we have him at the health center here helping us with the many patients and all of the in-depth La'au visits, which include the laws of Ola Kino. So I asked him to be here with us so he can share some parts of the laws of Ola Kino that he actually created as well. Kyoki, I'm not sure how many years you've been teaching, your whole life maybe?
Yeah, I've been teaching since 2009 at UH. So it's been a while.
Yeah. Okay. And Kumu Kyoki, there's so much to tell about you, Kyoki. So we both have the same Kumu, and Kyoki does have the healing La'alapa'au and his Mo'ukuauhau, his genealogy as well. So he has a few different kahuna that he has learned from. Did you want to say anything?
No, just happy to be here.
Okay. Okay, so let's see here. Let me just move things around here. Okay, so we go ahead and start. Oop. I can't hear anybody though.
I think
Yes.
we're all muted, but yes, you can go ahead and start, Anake.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's see here. I'm just trying, okay. So today we're going to go through, I know you had a little bit of an introduction at the gathering that we were at, and so we're going to go more in depth from the points I brought up at our first meeting. So Kahua Ola is our foundation of wealth, health, and well-being, and we're really happy to be a part of this group and to meet all the mentors and to share the different traditional healing aspects of what we do. Here is the kahuna that we've learned from, Kumo Ohai. Hawaiian healing is taught by Kahuna Levana Ohai is relational. It represents a commitment to take an active role in wellness and healing for yourself, Ohana, Kaiaulu, and Aina. So I have kind of throughout the PowerPoint some quotes from our kumu. The laws of Ola Kino. So I know I introduced these at our first gathering, and one of Kumu's quotes, bringing our lifestyle into alignment with natural and spiritual pillars of health. So we're going to go through these laws of Ola today, a few a little bit more in depth than the others. We're going to go through Aipono, Moipono, Ho'oikaika Kino, ma'i pono, no'ono'o pono, mana'o pono, pule mau, malama pono i nā palina, and ike pono i ke kumumole o ke ola. So aipono, consuming food wisely, and food is our medicine. And I know I briefly had talked about kalo being haloa and the mo'olelo that goes with the importance of kalo, the food that sustains us. So when we go in depth with introducing the laws of Ola Kino, we talk a bit about how possibly that we've lost the connection between what we eat, why we feed ourselves, and how we feel. As the foundation for health, we all understand food has three roles: fuel, medicine, and nourishment. And in the practice of la'alapa'au, we find that poor diet is one of the major causes of major and minor diseases alike. And then the second law, moipono, sleeping well. So a lack of sound sleep is often the cause of acute illness and can be a strong factor in chronic diseases as well. Sleep serves important roles in our physical well-being. It helps to repair the body, the slowing and resting of the cardiovascular system. It gives our digestive system a break, kind of a mini fast, helps to lower blood pressure and the reduction of stress-related hormones, helps to strengthen our immune system, improving memory and cognitive function, and reduces hormones that control the desire for excess fats and carbohydrates. Okay, so one of the plants, when the next visit, we'll be gathering at the health center, and you'll be doing a lab. It's like a workshop. And we have two plants that we'll be introducing just today briefly, but you will be working with in the lab. And one is the avahiva. And so this, using the root and the leaf, it helps to dull pain. It's a muscle relaxant, helps with depression, anxiety, helps to relieve insomnia. We can chew the leaves for a numbing effect. The roots are made into a tea or a drink, an ava drink. And then the other la'au that you'll be working with in the workshop is lilikoi. And the benefits of the leaf, flower, and the fruit helps with insomnia, relieves anxiety and reduces restlessness. It includes magnesium, helping with sleep quality and duration. It also helps to relieve indigestion, muscle cramps, and asthma. So in our workshop, you'll be working with the leaf, and we'll actually be making a tincture. And so you'll have a bit of the ava root, and we'll prepare in advance the leaf. So we'll be dehydrating the leaf, and you will be making like a glycerin tincture. And then we have some other, another little workshop that I think we're going to do the first aid workshop with you too. So you'll have a lot of hands-on in the next gathering. Ho'ikai kakino strengthens the body. So culturally, we do a lot of through exercise work, malama aina, pilina, working together. I just wanted to show you an example of, this is our garden, one part of our garden. And the malama aina, we're all staff and community working on cleaning and building the garden. And then on the opposite side of the screen is the garden today. And it still takes many hands to take care of our beautiful garden. Law of exercising. Regular exercise is important for the health of all body systems and for our psychological and spiritual well-being. Helps to increase bone density, strengthen, increase strength and body fat reduction, helps to reduce stress, anxiety, depression, helps to lower blood pressure, increase sleep quality, and it helps to prevent and reverse heart disease. One of the laws that are really important is the Ma'i Ma'i Pono. I mean, they're all important, but cleansing. So we do cleansing. I'm going to go to the next slide. We have guided cleanses that we take our patients, community members, and class members. We might introduce the first one, the Opu cleanse, but our kupuna and the kahuna, they wanted the body to be able to receive the medicine. So going through a cleanse helps to prepare the body, and going through the laws of Ola help to prepare us on many levels, spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical, for the medicine. So we have an Opu cleanse, stomach, that's a stomach cleanse, liver and gallbladder cleanse, blood cleanse, kidney and bladder cleanse, and a lung cleanse. And I know our kumu would tell us, kumu ohai would tell us that if we bathe 365 days a year or throughout the year, why don't we bathe? We're bathing the outside of our body, but do we even think about bathing the inside of our body? The toothbrush of the digestive tract is higher fiber vegetables and grains. I just wanted to put up one example of the preparation. And on your right, you'll see this is the plant pohikula, which is an excellent drink that helps actually with blood pressure and memory. But in preparation, there could be no meat or solid food, could be a liquid fast, vegetable juice, oranges, orange juice, water fast. And some people don't eat any food or drink any water in preparation, going through the cleanse. We have to be sure that we look at specific medical conditions. And it's good to talk to your physician. For example, if somebody possibly has diabetes, we want to be sure that your physician has given you an okay to go through a cleanse, and then we have to take into consideration, adjust the cleanses for you. And then Kyoki's going to finish with the other laws.
E no'o no'o pono. The word no'o no'o means to think, but it also means the pono part, meaning to think properly or to meditate properly. This implies taking all of the different things of thoughts and emotions that run through our mind, and then allowing them to have a place to settle down. In that settling down, we can finally see the horizon. We can see the multiplicity of things that we're engaged with. We can see them for what they are and who they are and what they mean to us. No'ono'opono tells us to stay calm, to be calm, and to allow the stressors and the things that draw and catch your attention to be set on the side. So no'ono'opono, meditate appropriately. It's not just meditate. It's not just thinking, but it's the deliberate act of allowing things to have their place, let them settle so you can see clearly. Okay, next slide. If no'ono'opono is the deliberate act of thinking to settle everything down so that you can see and feel clearly, then mana'ona'opono, pondering, is its opposite, where you take something like a thought, a proverb, a scripture, a wise saying of your ancestors or of a mentor or teacher, and you purposely put that on the stage of your mind, and you think about it, you pray on it, you ponder on it, you meditate on it, and you draw from it the lessons and the wisdoms that is incorporated within those words. So mana'o na'o, pono. The root word of mana'o na'o is the word mana'o, which means thought, opinion, or idea. At the root of the word mana'o is mana. Mana meaning power or energy. So in your thoughts, there is energy, there is power, there is movement. Okay, next slide. Pule maua mau, pray always. I like this. I like Pule as being a part of the laws of Ola, because this is something that we need to do daily. Yes, it is a part of the laws of Ola that support our lifestyle change, but it also supports the change inside of us, the changes that we seek to change. For Pule, no matter what your higher power is, we draw upon essentially the spiritual realm to help us in the physical realm. This helps us with our health mentally, physically, or spiritually, and emotionally. So Pule always. Okay, next. As much as No'ono'opono, Mana'ona'opono, and Pule are essential for your health and wellness, mentally, emotionally, physically, Pilina is just as important. Pilina is a compound word of pili, which means relation or that which you are close to, and the word anna, which is like ing. So relationshipping. So we put that all together as far as relationships. In our focus of laws of Ola, a relationship with yourself is paramount. How you talk with yourself, the dialogue that you have with yourself, how you view yourself, how you love yourself, how you forgive yourself, how you give yourself grace. All of these things are part of your relationship with who you are. Next is the relationship with Akua, or God, or higher power. How is your relationship with Akua? Our teacher, Kumu Lavano Hai, said, if Akua is far from your lips, then Akua is far from your heart. And in our practice of traditional medicine, we pull it always because we want Akua to be close to our lips so that Akua is close to our heart. Relationship with loved ones. Sometimes our relationships can be happy and joyful and great. Other times it can be distressful. So especially if within the family dynamics. So focusing on the relationship with loved ones and making sure there's ample space for love, grace, and compassion is important in the aspect of relationships with loved ones. Relationship with others. Sometimes those other people may make your life difficult. So we may have to love them from a distance, putting healthy boundaries up. And other relationships you want to nurture and you want to grow because they build you also. Then there's the relationship with Aina. I know we have a lot of farmers here. So this relationship that you have with Aina, with Vai, with water, water from the sky, streams, rivers, water from the ocean, Kai, and air, the air that you breathe. Relationship with those things. Do we give gratitude? Do we show mahalo? Right? So in the laws of Ola, give yourself ample time to give your mahalo, to give aloha, to give compassion in these relationships that you're attached to in your life. Okay, next slide. The last one is kumomole ikeola. Essentially, life purpose. Life purpose refers to the central motivating aims of your life that guide your decisions, influence your behavior, and create meaning. It refers to the reason you do what you do, and it is connected to your passions, beliefs, and values. So why do we hold on to a life purpose, or why do we seek to have a life purpose? And what does a life purpose do for you? Let me share them with you. Next slide, please. Your life purpose is important because it gives you direction and focus. It gives you motivation. It gives you happiness and fulfillment, and helps you to be resilient, which is, I think, what we're kind of looking for in the type of work that we do, is being resilient. For direction and focus, knowing your purpose gives you a clearer direction in life. It helps you make decisions that align with your values and goals, guiding you in the right path. Life purpose gives you motivation. A strong sense of purpose fuels your passion and drives you to pursue your dreams. When challenges arise, your purpose can inspire you to keep going. And I know we have different occupations here, so when challenges come, you fall back on your why. You fall back on your life purpose, why you are here, why you are doing what you're doing. And that helps you to have motivation to move forward. Your life purpose can help you to have happiness and fulfillment. People with a strong sense of purpose tend to be happier and more satisfied with their lives. They find joy in their journey, not just joy in reaching their goals. So that's a reframing, no'ono'opono, as we call it, reframing your mind, so that your mind and your perspective, so that the joy is in the journey, not just in accomplishing the goals. And the last one, resilience. Life can be tough, but having a purpose helps you bounce back from setbacks. It provides strength and determination when you face difficulties. So in these laws of Ola, may they serve you in the best way that you know how. And thank you.
Okay, mahalo. So Tao, we're moving to questions.
Yes, thank you so much. That was so inspiring. Is your soothing, calm voice. I was all agitated, and now after sitting for 10 minutes, I'm all calm, like joyful. You just kind of lulled us into this beautiful moment. So very much appreciate your sharing. But I would like to open up for anyone who would have any questions um, to ask or to Kumu.
Aloha. My name is Georgia. I'm chiming in from Naholoku, Kaupo, Maui today. And first I want to say thank you so much. And second, I was wondering if there are any colleagues or compatriots of yours here in Maui that we might be able to connect with to bring this kind of teaching into some in-person workshops. Or if you might want to come to Maui.
I personally don't know anyone in Maui that teaches what we teach. Kyoki might, maybe from UH. Do you know of anyone?
No, nobody at this time. Um, but I think these are teachings that are worth sharing with the world, as it has application to every person that draws breath. Yeah.
I agree, absolutely. Um, okay, well, I would love to get in touch with you and Alexis and Dr. Tao, my apologies, I haven't even shared this with you yet, but I Maui Farmer Support Network was funded by Rotary Foundation, D5000, for a whole host of events over the next 12 months, including 3 farmer Luana days or relaxation days. And so we're going to want to be bringing in some practitioners such as yourselves over the course of the next year here for 3 of these events. So I would love to follow up and connect with you and think about what it would take to bring you into Maui for an event. These are just going to be 1-day events.
Here.
That would be exciting.
Kumu, Lena Aldo, I have a question. Is the Ava Hiva, is that the same as Ava?
There's different types of ava. The ava hiva, we use that. The ava hiva is known to be used by our kahuna. So it's a very healing. I think it's a little bit harder to actually find ava hiva and to grow it. But I look at ava hiva being more of a sacred and healing ava as compared to others. Kyoki, you might want to add to that.
Yeah, so there are different species of ava, and our nomenclature for in traditional medicine for Hawaiian medicine uses Hawaiian names and not the scientific name. So I wish we could give you the scientific name for avahiva, but um, avahiva, look at it as a very special ava. It is used in our ceremonies. It is sought after by our chiefs. It's used in medicine. Their medicinal properties have a higher, I think, a higher potency factor whenever treating our patients and our clients.
I think of it as being actually a very spiritual plant, so a very high level of spirituality comes with using that special ava.
Mahalo. I also heard you pronounce it lilikoi, which is wonderful because I've heard one other person actually pronounce it lilikoi and found that like back in the day, that's actually how it's supposed to be pronounced, but we are just so accustomed to lilikoi. So
Mhm.
mahalo for that. But I had a question. You said that you make tinctures. I've never seen a lilikoi tincture. Is that from the leaves or is that from the fruit?
We're going to use the leaf.
The leaf.
Yeah, so I'll actually dry the lilikoi. I'll harvest it and dry it before you come. We're using glycerin. You can use for tinctures. You can use apple cider vinegar, sometimes vodka, but we're going to have glycerin. So Kyoki just wanted to be really sure that what we put in there is very dry. Dried already. The root is dry. We harvested our ava hiva actually a while back. So you'll be using root in that from our special ava that we grew here at the health center for 4 years before we harvested.
Wow. Mahalo.
Aloha, Kyoki. Lyman here. And I was wondering about the reframing that you're referring to, because it seems like it's a really important part of everything to some degree. I mean, even your voice seemed to be framing what you were teaching. And I wonder if you could talk about the reframing of the mind and the words that you used. I couldn't quite follow what that Hawaiian word or phrase was. Mahalo.
I am mahalo. So that word is no'o no'o. No'o no'o. So reframing the mind means reframing your attitude, or we call it kuana, your attitude and your perspective on things. So your kuana, or your attitude, reframing your mind, influences how you engage with your present moment, with what's happening now. A positive attitude leads to positive results. A positive kuana leads to positive results. And this isn't blind optimism. It's the ability to see opportunity in adversity with an open heart and mind. So start each day with gratitude. When plans go astray, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? So that's kind of what I was trying to share, that it's important to reframe your what you're thinking and how you're experiencing what you're thinking and feeling.
I understand what you're saying. I think when working with farmers that are struggling or with suicidal ideation, the reframing seems to be a really key process. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I actually had a follow-up question. I work a lot with people that are considered neurodivergent. And I'm curious, I've found entrainment, where like I calm myself and then that helps them. I teach them, like breathing practices and things to, like we calm together, right? Like we're in training, having a coherent field. I'm wondering, in the framework that you're teaching, there's a lot of mindfulness in it. I can hear and feel, and I'm just wondering how you teach about that and talk about that.
I like how you use that term, entrainment, because the whole, from our perspective and the Hawaiian perspective, the entrainment is focuses on pilina, relationship. So pilina, your relationship with yourself. Your relationship with yourself is going to affect the relationship that you have with others. And in that relationship, if you are committed to that relationship and you want it to grow and you want it to thrive, relationship with yourself, relationship with others, that entrainment, then you are going to do everything you can to make it blossom and make it grow, or to make it, to influence it, to so that there is omalie, as we call it, peace. Yeah, so that there is peace. But what can make it difficult for somebody to there are things that can make it difficult for people to stay dedicated toward self-love, dedicated toward finding and seeking peace, especially when depression or anxiety or suicidal ideation comes into play. There are 5 things that I share with people to help them to stay committed to self-care and not giving into those ideas of suicidal ideation. And the 5 things are: first, make make, and I'll write this down. Make make, desire. Like your desire to stay committed to yourself, your desire to stay committed to any type of thing that you're seeking to nourish and grow, that desire should shine like the sun. When your desire is undeniable, it propels you forward through tough times. Reflect daily on what fuels your passion. Why do you aspire to be what you want to be, or do what you want to do, or why you want to be a farmer, and continue doing that practice? What is the deeper purpose behind being a farmer or being a first responder? And you keep this desire at the forefront of your thoughts like a guiding lighthouse through the night. The next thing is hilina'i. Hilina'i means trust. Trusting and believing in yourself are essential to achieving your mission, to achieving everything that you're doing. So it's your willingness to ride the biggest challenges in life, and you need the skill and the unwavering trust or hilina'i in yourself. So know that deep within that you can tackle things in the heaviest conditions and find your way back to safety no matter what you're engaged with. When you trust yourself, you navigate with confidence of a seasoned wayfinder, even when clouds obscure your vision. Practice affirmations and visualizations. See yourself succeeding in every endeavor. So hilina'i is the second thing in helping somebody to stay committed to their self and to others and their life purpose. The third thing is, let me write this down, is kuana. Kuana is the attitude. This is what I was sharing about, that it leads to having a good positive attitude leads to positive results. And that, again, that it's not blind optimism. It's the ability to, again, to see opportunity in adversity with an open heart and open mind. The fourth thing, and then there's the fifth after that, is a'o. A'o o'ole'a. This is discipline. You embrace the discipline to keep learning and to keep growing. You become a true disciple of learning, and no matter what you're engaged with, whether you're a farmer, you're a first responder, you're a kumu, teacher, mother, father, auntie, uncle, right? You're always engaged, and you become a disciple of learning. And it's about training when others rest and maintaining your routine. Even when motivation wanes, keep training, keep working at it. Embrace the kuleana, or the responsibility of discipline, knowing that each small effort compounds into greatness. So a'o'ole'a is the fourth aspect of keeping a commitment to yourself and to other people. Mana'opa'a is unwavering commitment. Mana'opa'a is important, because to have an unwavering commitment, it means that with unwavering commitment, it will hold everything together. Your commitment to your purpose, life purpose, transcends personal gain, and you end up shaping a legendary legacy for yourself. So the act of self-care and staying committed to self-care. If I find myself having a difficult time staying committed to my self-care, then I look at these 5 things. Is it my desire that is keeping me back? Is it that I don't trust myself? Is it my kuana, my attitude? Is it my discipline? Is it my unwavering commitment? What is keeping me from helping me to fulfill what I'm supposed to be doing? And so these 5 things go hand in hand with reframing, with no'ono'opono. And sorry if I went too long, but that's to answer your question. Those are a few things to share.
Oh my goodness. Mahalo nui. That was so wonderful. Thank you. Oh my
It
goodness.
wasn't too long. It
No.
was perfect. This is what we needed to hear. Thank you. Yeah.
All right,
They
thank
want
you.
more. They want more, Keoki.
Oh,
Is that the desire? Oh, the flame of desire. For the wholesomeness, right? So I think what you're hearing is that it's a strong desire for more wholesomeness that you're sharing with us.
All right, mahalo.
Can I share something in terms of an experience related to what you're sharing? The No'onopono and the meditation, how you meditate properly. Because I just had an interesting experience last night when I was waking up early this morning. And I noticed sometimes when you wake up in the morning, but before you wake up, there's a brightness of the mind, like the mind's really bright. And I would like, wait a minute, but it's still dark outside. So what is that? It's like very bright. Like now you open your eyes, you're like, what? It's still dark. So where's that brightness coming from? And other times, whatever's happening during the day, and I noticed that the mind it has stains, right? So let's say you're irritated with somebody or in a situation, the mind is less bright because there's a bit of stain. But if there's a meditation at night, and I do meditate quite a bit, or I try to, but half the time I'm sleeping because I'm so tired. But when I'm able to sit, and then I notice that it spills over into the sleep, which you mentioned is really important, which brightens the mind. So can you talk a little bit about how, the practices to help cultivate?
You use a good word, cultivate. Cultivate implies the movement of energy. So that is energy within the self. There's different times of the day where that energy is malie, it is calm. Other times where that energy is, we call it lele. It's just kind of jumpy. There's other times where it's just ebbing and flowing and transitioning from being very active to being calm and dormant. The cultivation of that energy comes from the thoughts that you give and the thoughts that you take away from it. I think the beauty in cultivation is that we have a choice as to when we want to cultivate, why we want to cultivate, where we want to cultivate. Yeah, we have choice in that. In that time that we choose to cultivate, it should always be the cultivation of peace and love. When you focus on an emotion, everything else follows in line. So you focus on the cultivation of peace, or just even having the thought of peace, or the thought of compassion in your mind, then your feelings follow. So as the mind thinks, so do the feelings follow. And you are doing the process of cultivation. So in our Hawaiian thinking, mana'o, which means thought or opinion or idea, the root word of mana'o is mana, which is energy or power. So as you think, you will feel. As you feel, you will be. As you will be, everything else just follows.
Mahalo. As a farmer, I think a lot about cultivating, but you've suddenly expanded my ideas about cultivation. So
All right, thank you. Yeah, the plants teach us so many things. They really do. All we have to do is just listen to them.
Mahalo, Keoki.
So are there any other questions? Otherwise, from the session that we had last month, a lot of our farmers as well as first responders want to apply what we learn. And so they're asking for like vignettes. So we do have a couple of vignettes that we can then ask you to apply, break out in groups and apply what our two Kumus have shared. So then you can do the application of how you would do this. Shall we transition to that? If there's any other questions, and I think the two Kumus are going to stay with us to help us out.
Yeah,
Yes?
I'll have to go.
Oh, you have to go.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
I
but
do have one question before we transition, if that's okay. Okay, just super quickly. So thank you so much. This is beautiful. It's not too much. I'm hanging on every word you're saying. So mahalo. Prior to modernization or colonization, did Native Hawaiian ancestors have words for depression and anxiety?
yes, our term for depression was kaumaha. And I'll write that down. Kaumaha. And as far as kaumaha concerned, it could be sad. Or if it's chronic sadness, it's considered kaumaha also.
And anxiety? Was that a term that they recognize?
Anxiety, I have to look that up actually. I'm not sure. Yeah, but I'm very familiar with depression there.
Mhm. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepa.
any last question before he unfortunately is gonna have to disappear on us?
I wanted to say one thing. Here at the health center, they've given us some time to develop our own little clinic we call Ho Olu Olu Clinic, and it's called a pain clinic. But Kilki and Dr. Noi Pereira, psychologist, Hawaiian psychologist, and then myself coming in Lomi, Kilki's La'au, and Noi is No'ono'opono. That the experience for all of us is amazing. And to have a client to be able to go through all those realms within a healing session. So to really move between spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, we found that the elevation of healing, the integration is really amazing, and we have just as much gratitude for the work and for being able to all work together, and for what our client is bringing to us to share. And we're thankful to the health center giving us that time to integrate. But I guess what I want to say is just so thankful that I get to work with Kilki and with Dr. Noi in this capacity.
Okay, I did find the word, Dr. Deepa. I wrote it in the chat section. It's called hopo hopo or pi hoi hoi. That is for anxiety. And I too feel privileged to work at Waimanalo Health Center and to be able to share our knowledge with our patients and to help them along their healing journey. But thank you for having me. Sorry I have to leave.
Mahalo.
Mahalo again, Kilki. Yep. I'm gonna actually have to go too.
Oh, all right.
But we will be meeting in person
Yes.
in our next in April. Not sure of that date. I think it's like the third Thursday, I think.
I'm not sure, Leon, because we're meeting next week with Kumu Kealani for the Kai Healing event, and you're both welcome if you would like, because we we already have folks sign up for that.
Hmm.
Or we've got about, and this includes our first responders as well.
Okay.
Let me get back with you.
Okay. I was thinking I had it down as
I think
April 24th,
That's what I have
but
on my calendar. Yeah.
24th?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah. 9 o'clock.
yeah, at the
Mm.
health center. So we have a chance to work together. I'm not sure if Kilki will be able to come, but you'll be in our garden with us and we'll be doing some hands-on work with the la'au, with the plants and making some medicine.
so this must be separate with John then, because I don't have that
I'm
on my.
I'm not sure.
I think we all talked about this a, a
Okay,
while
let's talk
back.
about this afterwards. I will
Okay. All right.
I don't have it on my calendar. Yeah, I'll touch base. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you again. I can maybe stay for one of the breakout sessions.
Oh, sure. Okay. So Alexis did she mentioned that we have several folks who don't have their camera on, so we just want to make sure. I guess we would try the breakout session and see how many groups we have, because I see lots of AI as well as a couple without the camera. Well, let's see how it goes. So here is the vignette that I'm putting in I'm gonna put it in the chat. So here's the first scenario that we have. And it's so we have a group of farmers in a rural community are experiencing burnout due to increasing financial pressure, drought-related stress, and the emotional toll of seeing their neighbors struggle. They continue to work hard, but morale is low, and some are considering leaving farming altogether. So the question is, in the group discussion, what aspects of what you just heard of Hawaiian well-being, Ola Kino, can help address stress and emotional exhaustion within a farming community? So, Alexis, could you help break us out into maybe 3 groups or 2 groups? Let's do 2 groups, because I'm not sure how many folks are here completely.
I already made some breakout rooms for 2 people. Would you prefer that I change that and have only 3 groups of multiple people?
Yeah, let's have multiple people, just in case there's people are not there. So let's just do 2 groups. So let's see what
Let
happens.
me change this. Am I putting John and Dr. Deepa in a group?
Are you staying or are you leaving?
We can hang out. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
great.
mean, I can. Yeah.
But you need to put it in
If you're talking about this, John, I'm gonna have to leave in like 4 minutes. Sorry.
I was speaking of Dr. John, but good to see you, John Lance. Yeah,
Thanks.
no problem.
Mahalo nui e nā kumu, me kia kua ho'o mai ka ia oe. Mahalo no ka mana'o.
No problem. And let's see, I'm missing Jeffrey, and then we'll do Nathan and Deepa. All right. That should be everybody. Okay, here I go.
See you guys in about 10 minutes. Would that be okay? 10 minutes. All right. Or whoever it is who's willing to share from the first group or second group, whichever group.
I don't know that we know our order.
I don't know, when Alexis signed, how did she, what was the
Yeah.
name of the group? I don't know
I don't know.
what was the group
We-
name.
I don't know that we were really paying attention to that, but I'll speak. Tyler and I met, and Jeffrey was in there too, and the 5 principles that Keoki offered as a way of approaching the stress and exhaustion, that sort of doing it almost like an assessment writing it out and looking at which ones might need some attention.
That's excellent. Yeah. The Makemake, Hilina'i, Kuana, A'o'olea, and Mana'o. Oh, aloha. Mana'opa'a. Yes, as we actually use the laws of Ola Kino as kind of a start of the assessment. And then when we first work with somebody or work with the patient and go over, talk about all of them, and then we let the patient decide where they want to start within just the laws of Ola Kino. There's so much in-depth work in each law. Quite in-depth work, and I think that's excellent. I'll actually talk to Kyoki about that too, to actually use that as an assessment. Awesome idea.
I have a question kind of off of what we were talking about too, was so you would write it out. That's what he had talked about as well, John, because creating a safe space where someone would feel comfortable enough to address these things and principles within themselves. I was just curious of, the approach to open up that space in a conversation. What would be the initial steps?
So do you mean like within, like at the health center when we work here?
Oh, I was talking more like if we were dealing with someone, and we wanted to unpack this in our conversation or experience, utilizing these 5 principles, how would we integrate that? Or I'm open to suggestions. Because each one of these is action within ourselves, but then applying it within a life situation where when you have these tools, how to create space. When we first started, I thought, just breath work and holding that meditative space always calms the nerves so people can feel comforted. But what I had talked about is I've noticed people having a mask or projecting it on something else before we address internal work and holding an open space for someone to say, okay, well, yeah, maybe my trust wasn't fully there. I wasn't working, addressing and looking within, but holding space to be there to help them to do that is, something we're all working to learn how to do. Yeah.
Well, we start with Pule, with prayer. We of course we ask if if they're okay, if they want to do prayer with us, and a lot of our patients now will actually request that we start with prayer. So it's starting with Pule helps to center all of us as the group, and then we're asking for in the Pule we're asking for guidance, and we look at our kupuna, our mo'okuahau, our those that have maybe passed before us, our genealogy, and including the person individual we're working with. And if we have the opportunity, it can start where the patient's not even really talking at all. And then I'll start doing lomi, and start opening key points that we use in this style of paola. And they're more like pressure points. And then again, the touch, the pule, helps to build the trust. And then we start coming in with the different the different principles that Kilki talked about. Every situation is so different, though. I'm trying to think. I think Kilki would be good at applying that as a farmer. I mean, we have the ability. Sometimes we'll go in our garden, and then we use the surroundings in the garden to help to help balance and to help bring us up into the spiritual, mental, emotional realms. But so Palina and trust. I don't know if I answered your question.
that was incredible. I actually really appreciate all the different things you brought out, techniques, and that's really inspirational. Thank you.
Thank you. I know that's why I mentioned the strength of our work as the three of us working together is very actually magical and incredible because we get to do I mean, we're working through talk therapy, we're doing healing, hands-on therapy, we're doing the breathing with the releasing, we're doing the pule, you know, so we have the ability to go through physical up to spiritual, mental, emotional, and we really rely on the guidance from what would be your kupuna. You know, we're in our own prayer and our process of work is really being able to listen and being very present for that person where they're at, which builds trust, and then moving through you know, these different areas. You know, this doesn't happen like in one session or you know, overnight. We're building, we're working with our you know, we have the ability to be with our patients and our community members on a regular basis. Yeah, I'm not sure how this would work with you and farmers and how you would structure that.
Well, I really love you brought in spirituality and prayer, body work and touch, and then also just holding space for conversation and writing it out. So I think a lot of those are really, that's incredible. That's beautiful. It opens up a lot of ideas of how to just unpack things, because obviously you have to request permission for any of those things first to engage for engaging, but just knowing that like all of those things can help open up the communication and experience. That's so cool.
Now, in a lot of the teaching that I do, I actually teach those healing points. I teach the body work that we do, that we use in our work. And even if someone's just seated or, and of course it's all over fully clothed, but I'll go out in our community and actually teach their key points that help with releasing that. So, I mean, we haven't talked about it, but that is something we could do together as well, is to teach it's called Paola, to teach the basics of Paola. So you'd have some hands-on and know some key points for releasing too, and releasing, but at the same time, the style of Lomi that I do, we have the Ku and the Hina side that we work with. So one side is receiving energy, and then another side is kind of guiding and pushing energy. So I don't know, Tal, that could be something we could add. Not sure.
Add in the session when we bring everyone together?
We could.
Oh, that would be awesome, right? That would be very interesting.
Well, you know, I think how important, how loving, I mean, to touch with love and in total acceptance of where those that stand before us, where they're at.
Yeah, even a hug sometimes, someone just needs that, you know, just a touch, but having the intuition to know how to move energy or feel it or do the work you're doing, talking about that's incredible. That's inspiring.
I mean, especially when we're talking about suicide ideation. I mean, and of course, if the individual we're working with is willing to allow us into their personal space as well. But that's why we work in the other realms with your own kupuna, your own mo'okuahau, your own genealogy, because we're asking for those that have gone before you that have brought you into this realm, into this plane of living, to be there to support you and to guide us. Does that make sense?
So do we have another group, or was it just one group that shared? All right.
Aloha, I can share real quick something that came up in our group, which was kind of connect to what Anake was saying to Pilina and building relationships. And Kalamai, I forget who your name, but had a brother with us share from Molokai that he checks in with a group of other men daily. And that's been a good space just to have everyone kind of talk through whatever's going on. And it just made me think like these laws of Ola Pono, like sleeping and eating well, and Ola Kino and cleansing our body. Sometimes maybe a safe way we can share them is by practicing them ourselves so that when we check in with other people, they just witness us as we are and they can, you know, hopefully with the relationship we create, ask us like, hey, you lost all your crop, but you're pretty chill. Well, like, what are you doing? You know, and then you can kind of share more so by making that a self practice. So that the more that we all practice that in our own lives, that when we connect with others, we can reflect that and maybe help them because it really is a personal thing, all those laws. But maybe we can just by practicing them help others find ways to incorporate that into their life and hopefully support their overall well-being.
Um, that's really that's awesome. It's really hard to teach those laws if we're not practicing those laws. Now, Noi happened to just join me. Dr. Noi Pereira, our the third party of our team here. I don't know if you just want to come into the camera and say aloha. Aloha. Hi. But so this is Dr. Noi Pereira that from she is a psychologist, but from a Hawaiian foundation, you know, the foundation of our healing, our cultural healing, but really important to add to like the questions and just the deliverance of explaining what we do. So she was kind of listening on the side. Invited her in. I think I should get my glasses. Okay.
So, Lena Allah and all of us, one of the things that keeps coming up sometimes is that seeing struggling or challenge and asking for help is a sign of weakness. And some of us sometimes work through the pain despite the warning signs that our body gives us or our family tells us. So how would the laws of Ola and the 5 frameworks to help deal with resistance or avoidance or asking for help is a sign of weakness?
I'm going to actually have Noi. I want you guys to hear from Noi. They got to hear from Kyoki, and he was amazing, like always. But I'm just going to scoop back so you can share a little bit and hear from Noi's beautiful perspective. Here. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Hi, aloha. I think that is a powerful observation, the fact that people can have the kuka or the discussion or the awareness that the belief or an underlying belief to ask for help is a sign of weakness. I think so. Part of what I kind of stepped in the office when I heard Lena Ala talking in terms of creating safe space. So creating that space allows for the courage to, one, make that observation And so in that hilina'i, or that trust, to safe space means you're building trust within yourself, because that's tapping into your belief system. Like when Lena Ala Kyoki and I are working together, this isn't a quote unquote theoretical framework that's grounded in blah, 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 blah. It is grounded, and meaning no disrespect to like my profession or anyone's profession or science. Our science is very high science. And so the high science is plugging into literally the microbes and the dirt under our feet that belong to us and we belong to them. And so to be able to say asking for help is a sign of weakness, that's a sign that we're like inundated with the weeds of a thinking or a lifestyle or a way of being that is not ours. Like we are not separate. And so yeah, it takes a lot of courage and safe space to be able to, one, notice that. And so if you're noticing that, then you're already created the capacity to expand that space to then address it. And so, like Lena Ala was saying, our ability to really open and resonate very precisely with the highest good is important. That's part of creating that safe space. And again, if you recognize there is a out of your mouth and say it, then the humility and the discipline of taking the next step, the courage of doing that, it is all informed literally by the ethers in the heavens above our head and the microbes below our feet, and the Kanaka standing on either side of us. So if we can meet ourselves where we're at, then we can be better equipped to notice when we need help. Like I myself need help. And just by being that, we expand that safe space for others. Because it really is not rhetoric that we belong to our Aina and our Aina belongs to us, because it is us. But that's like a belief system. So if our belief system is not that of we descend from the mountains or the roots or the waters we come from, then it'll be a difficult it will be difficult to plug into ancestors and to plug into recognizing I need help, asking for help. And what does asking for help look like? And does it have to come out of my mouth? Does it have to come from somebody that is depleted and destitute? I mean, if you look at your male kanu and they're just kind of like sitting there like that, they don't need to say, hey, I need water. I need some nitrogen. I need some potassium. They're not saying that. So our ability, like the how to, sometimes we talk so much that we're not hearing like our own answers, or we're not hearing our kupuna, or we're not hearing, my tutu would say, so smart, stupid. Like we numb ourselves to our own wisdom. And so, I don't know, I'm gonna blah, 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 blah. I don't even know if I'm answering the question of recognizing is a strength right then and there. And sometimes we don't know how to, hear it. Or even when you're getting help, you don't even see it as help.
You did. Okay. See, we always question ourselves too.
Yeah.
It's the ability to be present, to be present and one with Aina and spirit. That's our goal. That's our Yeah, and we always pray for the highest healing, whatever that may be, for everybody, for all of us, for our Aina, for our communities, for whatever that is for each person. And like Noi was saying, that they don't actually have to say, I need help. You know, we can just, my approach, since I'm more Lomi, would be to just touch, or as like you had said, hug, or to build that trust and build that pilina.
Thank you. I think we've got about 3 minutes, and if I could ask both of you to help us pule and end with a pule then for our session.
Can we do that?
Yeah. Sure. Eke ako manaloa, that is above, below, around, before, behind us. Mahalo for this opportunity to resonate in space over a Zoom, and just happened to walk by, and happened to just, we're really grateful to be in this space together. Please allow us to have increased capacity for humility, and to see how we're connected, how we help, how we don't help. We're grateful for everything we have, and also grateful for all that we do not have. We just ask for continued inspiration and guidance, and the awareness that this inspiration and guidance is right in our midst, to be in our backbones, connected to the top of our heads and the soles of our feet to the highest good. Yeah. Mama Uanoa. Lerevane. Ola. Amene. Amene.
So much. I'm gonna have to do this because I can't hug you, so I just
So I want to mahalo you for letting our time together just flow. Because I know we didn't follow the plan, but you had mentioned that we could flow.
Thank you so much. Everyone else, you're welcome to move on to the day in the flow of this beauty and the joy that's been shared. Thank you. I would like to stay on a little bit, Leanna, if you have a time, just so we can